Hello and welcome. My name is Wellington. I'm a developer advocate here at Despi. Today you're going to be talking a little bit about monitoring tools using nanoservices and how these built-in tools can help you debug your code and help you on your production environment as well. Let's dig into it. Awesome. So as always, we are here in our repo from Nanoservice-TS. This is the URL. So I'm also putting this on the description so you guys can check that out. And let's start, as always, going to the getting started. Let's copy our code for creating a new project. Let me go back on this one, remove it so we can start fresh. And let's start with it. Create project. I will just keep the name Nanoservice. This is our trigger. Let's go only with Node.js in this example, and let's install all the examples that we have available on our Nanoservice project. Let's wait for this to be done. Great, our project is now created. Let's enter the Nanoservice directory, and let's open this on our editor of choice. Great. So first things first, let's just run and make sure that everything is working how it's supposed to. Just open your terminal and run npm run dev. Great, as we can see, it's already running on the port 4000. So let's enter this port and let's enter the country's workflow. Awesome, we can see you already have a response, so it's already working. We can also check our logs here that shows that this workflow was executed, so that's good. Let me talk a little bit about the monitoring part. So as developers, we understand building the software and creating and making all the logic. It's not one of the hardest part that we have when we are talking about production applications. The production environment sometimes works, most of the time works in a different way as our local. And what is that? Even though we can use Docker and other tools, there is always the problem when you have to understand what is going on the production environment, why some errors are popping up, what is the logs telling you, talking about that. And you have tools like Prometheus, like Grafana, and a bunch of tools that are there to help you understand what is happening with your production environment. With that in mind, we understood, okay, how about we create something, we create a new technology when this technology allows people to easily deploy, and not just deploy, but easily understand within built-in tools what is going on a production level environment. And that's why we are building Nanoservice to be a modular software. Why is that? It makes it easier for you to debug and allow you to easily understand where is the problem when things start to go wrong in your production level. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so what we'll be doing right now is we're going to be showing how the monitoring and also the observability works 100% built in with your Nanoservice. So let's stop the server now and let's start by running some commands here to basically prepare some images we are displaying for Docker. So if you go to infra, you're gonna see we have metrics, we have a Docker Compose file here, we also have Postgres, and we also have here the Docker Compose for this file. What I did, I went ahead on this Docker file dev and I added an API key for the OpenAI. So only env and then the OpenAI key, it's going to work. After that, let's go here first on the DB Manager example. Let me get all the local hosts we have in here, and I'm going to be changing them to Postgres, just like this. Great. And now let's run all the necessary things so we can see the monitoring observability working in real time. So let's start by running npm run infra dev. As soon as we do this, then the Docker Compose is going to be spin up the necessary image. Great. In the meantime, I'm going to also run npm run infra build, and then in another terminal, we're going to go to infra metrics, and let's spin up upper compose up -d here. So this is going to pull up some of the services we're going to be running to make sure we get all the data necessary for all of our real-time charts and real-time observability thing. Great. Now that we have here everything ready, what we can do using that same terminal we had before. Let me see if I can get to it. Just having a little bit of rough time. Okay, good. Now, since we are already running everything, let's make sure everything is still working. Let me go to the browser. Let's go to localhost 4000. Great, everything is running yet. That's good. Now, what we need to do here, let's start by writing npx nctl latest monitor -- web. Great. As soon as we do this, a new tab is going to be open up on our browser. And now we can see all the graphs for the monitoring here. That's great. That's awesome. It means everything's working as it's supposed to. Now, what we need to do, we need to go in here and let's start sending some requests towards our workflow. In this case, it's the country's workflow. So all you have to do is just write localhost 4000 -countries. You can do that on the browser as well. It's going to work. So let's see if that data comes popping up here for us. So we already have 7 requests. Let me just real quick talk about those graphs. So what we have in here, the first graph is a system overview. So it's just a general information of how your machine is basically performing in terms of the total number of requests that are coming, the error count, the execution error risk here in this case is going to be the total request against our error count, and then we're going to be having some percentage of how much of those requests are in this line, in this graph, something that you have to basically be aware of, right? So if you have like 20, 40, 50% of this execution error risk, then you know that something is failing and something is wrong, because this should be in the green level, at the most the yellow level here. If this is going upwards, then you know something's is off. That's something that you can ignore. Those errors are, making a really difference in your execution time. Then we have here the average execution time of, basically all the workflows. Same here for the CPU usage. The CPU risk is basically how much you have of CPU available and how much of that CPU is being used within those requests. Same here for the memory usage. And then we have here the workflow metrics. What is good about the workflow metrics is that you can see, let me send a couple more requests so we can see that being updated. It takes like 30 seconds to update all the graphs there. But what is going on? Now, also, let me just send some errors so we can see the errors popping up as well. So this empty workflow is basically generate some errors for us. That's great. Awesome. And then what is happening here in the workflows is that by workflow, you can have a general idea of how each workflow is performing, how many errors are coming for those workflows. The same idea here for the execution error risk that we have for the system overview. Same for CPU risk and all of that. And then we have the same metrics, but this time per nodes. So for example, let me enter a more complex workflow here that we have. So if you go localhost 4000 -db manager, that's another example we have already there when you install the examples. As soon as I enter it, I probably forgot to spin up the database, or I just forgot. Let me just check this. DB manager. No, it's running. Oh yeah, I forgot to spin up the database. Let's do this right now. So let's open a new terminal. Let's go to cd infra and then Postgres. And let's spin up this guy over here, -d. Great. So now we have our Postgres database running on Docker. And what we need to do here real quick is just as soon as this is complete, let me close this one. Let me go back here. Let's stop this guy. And let's stop this guy over here as well. And let's run them again. So just basically running npm run infra dev and npm run infra build. Great. So let's see if that works. Great. Now our database is working. Here in this database manager example, we got all our tables. We can come, for example, to the city tables. And if you don't forget what I told you about the our docker file.dev, I added an environment variable that in env and then OpenAI key, and I added the OpenAI key there. So basically, you can just come here and say show all, execute the prompt, and then what's going on is that we have a connection of nodes that is performing, sending this as a prompt to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is basically getting that and transforming into an SQL query that we can see here. In this case, is to show all what we have in that table, all the data we have in that table, right? So that's what is happening. And then here we can see that more clearly. So we can see that all those nodes were executed, execution time of them, and we didn't got any errors per node, so that's good. And here we can have an average, idea of how those nodes are performing in terms of, basically understanding what is going on your production environment. And here we have just basically some metrics in a table so we can easily visualize what is going on. For the system logs, we need to just add low-key to do that. All we have to do is to go on our infra and then metrics. In our infra, instead Docker Compose we have inside infra, and then we have here the log key. All you have to do is just, comment this part, uncomment it, save it, and then there's also something else that we need to do, that we need to install the low-key plugin on Docker. So that one I'll be adding this command to our description so you understand what you have to do. But also we have this already for you on our Nanoservice XYZ. If you go there, you're gonna be seeing we have the database smart query DB manager example here, how you can run it, what are the steps you have to do. So just go in here, just check it out. We have all the information we need. I will be also adding that to the description. So just we can finalize here so you can understand. The last thing I want to show you that is very interesting is that not just we have the option of showing the UI, but sometimes I know that database guys or people that work with backend are not very, a huge fan of UI. What you can do is go to npx nanoctl latest and run just monitor. With that, you're gonna be seeing everything that we are seeing there, but in a more summarized way, and it's all ready for you on your database. And the cool part of this is that we have also an option where if you deploy this using Atomic, if you deploy your Nanoservice using Atomic, the Atomic platform, atomic.desk.com, and into our serverless option, then you can connect this using also in a command. And in this command, you're going to be able to see what is happening in your production environment, the way you're seeing here in the local, but that's on the production, and with the same information to help you understand what is going on with your workflows nodes, if there is some kind of errors happening, and trace back on what is going on and where you can fix and you can solve those problems. So if I start sending here some stuff, we should be able to see that, also relying that in our terminal as well. So yeah, let me hit this a bunch of time. That's great. Okay, I think that's enough for it. So yeah, we can see here our node get countries API, number of requests, time, the memory, CPUs, amount of errors. That is great. The empty, so the empty is not showing anything because there's no nodes there. So that's why it's not showing anything. But as you can see, we have this all in real time happening. So this could be something that is easier for you to see, fast, and quite easy to understand what is going on within your workflows. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys understood everything that I had to show you here. The whole plan is to explain you in a real simple way how to use monitoring observability and how that's built in Nanoservices. So every time you create a new node, every time you create a new workflow, those information are already there for you. You don't have to, worry about installing Grafana, installing Prometheus or any other tool. You're gonna have this all built in within Nanoservice, which will help you as a developer understand what is going on over the production environment. So that's great. Thank you for to be here in this video. Thank you for watching us. Please subscribe to our channel. Leave a like, leave a comment on this video. I really want to understand what you're building with Nanoservices, and also engage in our Discord community. Thank you so much and have a good one.